Coming up on Big Ten Today, the Boilers have their man. We introduce you to Barry Odom and sit down with the coach now in charge of restoring past glory at Purdue. Dave Wanstead joins me for a deep dive inside the college football playoff bracket. We examine what awaits each of the league's 4 CFP contenders. Plus, as Ohio State heads to the Men's Soccer College Cup, we slow down midfielder of the year, Michael Adedekun, for a one-on-one chat. This is Big Ten Today. Welcome inside this edition of Big Ten Today, fueled by Gatorade. Rick Pizzo joined by Dave Wanstead. This is the time of the year, Coach, where we see all sorts of changes. The carousel is spinning, some coaches departing, others arriving to new programs.
Yes, absolutely. And, everybody's kind of in a position right now where they're evaluating their programs. How are we going to attack this thing, portal, free agent? Do we have enough NIL money? I mean, there's conversations. I talked to some coaches with that going on. It's crazy, but this is what you got to deal with.
It is the world that we live in college football, in all of college sports. Our big story today takes us to West Lafayette, where Purdue has now officially introduced Barry Odom as its next head football coach. Odom is coming off a wildly successful 2-year run at UNLV, which included back-to-back trips to the Mountain West Championship game, the program's first 10-win season in 4 decades, and the 2023 Conference Coach of the Year award for Odom. Here's Odom on what's next in West Lafayette.
I'm more excited today than I was 2 days ago when I arrived. And I think there's opportunities on guys that will want to come play here, and for a number of reasons, because they're going to be coached by great coaches. They've got an opportunity to graduate from one of the most prestigious universities in America, and then we're going to win, and we're going to do it in a way that prepares them for life after sport, but also to go and compete and get drafted in the NFL.
This is right now a turnaround job after Purdue has struggled in 2 years under Ryan Walters, but this is exactly what Barry Odom did at UNLV. When he got there, no one thought anything about the Runnin' Rebels. They play in back-to-back conference championship games, Wani, and win 10 games this past season.
Yeah, and you talk about a guy that's had experience at all levels, going back to his Missouri days at a young age, in his late 30s. So there's going to be nothing that happens today or tomorrow, next week, that Barry hasn't seen before and dealt with. So I think it's a great hire for Purdue, and obviously Barry will be a great fit there. He really will.
Yeah, overall, Odom's UNLV teams won 19 of 27 games in those 2 seasons. His 3rd head coaching journey, as he was also in charge of that Missouri team that Dave mentioned from 2016 through 2019. And while he was there, the only losing season was his first one. His teams have been, as you look at the Gatorade game leaders, to 5 bowl games. The last 5 seasons, each of those teams has become bowl eligible when he's been at the front of the room, and he is the 2023 Mountain West Coach of the Year. Would love to add a Coach of the Year award in the Big Ten to that resume as well. And we are thrilled now that our big interview takes us to West Lafayette as we welcome in Barry Odom. First and foremost, Coach, congratulations. Rick Pizzo, Dave Wanstead alongside with you. Welcome inside the Big Ten.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. I appreciate the time. As you know, when you take over a new job, the transition and all the moving parts that happen, but this is certainly at the top of the list to get done, and honored to be a head coach at Purdue University and in the Big Ten Conference. It's a great thing for not only myself, our family, and we're thrilled to get started here.
Well, Barry, coming off the 2-year run that you had at UNLV, you are going to be a highly sought-after commodity in the coaching market this offseason. So why was Purdue the right job for you at the right time?
Well, I think, there's a number of things, as you guys know, that it goes into, number one, alignment with the administration and our athletics director and president and their leadership teams, how important that was, that the vision was aligned, the leadership qualities and what they wanted and thought our program needed to be, and how important that is. Then you look at, obviously, in the Big Ten Conference, the prestige that is every single week in and week out with this league. And then geographically, very similar to where I grew up. I know the region really well from a recruiting standpoint. It fits me from a cultural, the DNA of what the area is in Purdue, West Lafayette, and the surrounding areas. And this brand of ball, what is Purdue going to be known for, can be known for. And then traditionally, you go back to the great success that Coach Tiller had and Coach Brom not that long ago, and how we can get back to that point on playing the brand of being hard, smart, and tough, and playing disciplined, tough football, very, very consistent. So I look forward to getting our feet on the ground and getting started, and been here for about a day and a half, and there's a lot of moving parts happening, but certainly excited to have the opportunity.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the job, and welcome to the Big Ten. I know that you have your own system, your own formula for how you want to build this football team. Where is the starting point? Is it the current players that you think will fit from a talent standpoint, from a culture standpoint? Is it the portal? Is it high school recruiting? Getting out there in the schools. Where's the starting point, and kind of what would your priority be moving forward?
Yeah, number one, Coach, great to see you. A lot of respect for you. We had a team meeting yesterday, and I think the most important part is the relationship building with the current team, and making sure, especially now with the opportunities that they have with the portal open. I really, everybody that was in the team meeting yesterday, I want them to stay part of this process and this plan, because if they look at it and we go all in together, we're going to achieve great things together. It'll be one of the most rewarding experiences they've ever had athletically. So number one, it's making sure that we do everything we can to be open, to be honest, to communicate, and make sure we try to keep this roster together. I understand also we're going to lose some guys, we'll gain some guys, but foundationally, we've got to attack high school recruiting. My last 3 cycles, we've signed 68 high school players. I think that's really, really important to build the foundation of a program. And then we've been very, very aggressive, and it's been rewarding to us in the transfer and the portal world on making sure that we address needs of our roster. So we'll approach it the same way here. I think there is a great value in identifying talent and making sure you get them in the program, and then developing guys in the program within your system to set the culture of what it's going to look like. So I'm excited about that process. It's never ending. As you know, you're recruiting your own roster. You're making sure you make connections within the state and the areas that you're going to recruit, and then selectively being selected direct about the guys that you're going to invite to come visit in the transfer world.
Barry, UNLV does have a bowl game to play, so how does that affect you filling out your staff and other carryover details that may be related to your most recent job?
Yeah, one of the most important things is the staff that we'll put together. It will be an elite staff that is aligned and play complementary football in all 3 phases. The guys that I'm talking to right now to fill the assistant coaches roles, every one of them still is currently either in the playoff picture, in the CFP games, or in a bowl game. So there's a lot of things that are happening. Maybe I don't want to put the time frame on when we'll make those announcements, but I feel really strongly about the group that we'll be able to put together to mentor, to guide, to lead these student athletes, and to play championship ball.
Barry, how do you view the Big Ten today, maybe in comparison to just a couple of years ago even? I believe your first game as head coach at UNLV was against Michigan, and so much has changed in the 2 years since. What's your view of the Big Ten now as you step in as a head coach compared to where it was when you were at UNLV and before that in Columbia?
Well, you look at every single week, the brand of our conference. You go anywhere in the world, and the Big Ten is going to be recognized. And every single week, if you're not prepared and your habits don't align, you'll be exposed. So there's great players, there's tremendous coaches, and honored to be a part of it. I think the brand of the league speaks for itself. The opportunities that the national championship will run through the Big Ten, and to be a part of that, I'm certainly excited.
Hey, Coach, I remember when I took the pit job in the Big East Conference, and West Virginia with Rich Rodriguez, they were one of the first teams running that spread offense. Great speed, great talent. We had to adjust a little bit, at least I did. I didn't feel like we could compete with them to win the championship unless we could match up with them. My question would be do you give that any thought as you look at Indiana, your biggest rivalry, and the rest of the Big Ten, like Rick was saying, as far as the type of athletes, the type of players that you need to have in the program to win the Big Ten championship?
Absolutely. You've got characteristics that you recruit to, physical measurements, the different things with that. And then it gets into the things that you can't measure on paper, the discipline, the heart, the want to be a great football player, the habits, all of those things that go into it. But just this league in general, it's going to be a line of scrimmage league. If you're not built the right way up front, offensive, defensive line, the front seven defensively, it's going to be really hard to maintain success. You've also got to have dynamic playmakers that can make plays out in space, the way that the college game has adjusted. And then offensively, the ability to run the ball effectively, doing that and being able for that to then open up the linear passing game. We've got a lot of opportunities to create what we want the roster to look like. And we understand to be able to compete at the highest level to win in this league, we got a lot of work to do.
Barry, let's finish here. I know you've been on the job and in town for only about a day and a half, but give us a snapshot of what the next week to 2 weeks will look like for you as you try to get settled in a little bit with not a lot of time and the portal open for another couple of weeks.
Yeah, look at, number one, our players are in finals week right now, so they're going through that. Some are already off campus, so I've tried to meet with met with the team yesterday and then have as many individual meetings as I can. They don't know me, and all I'm asking is just to give me an opportunity, give me a chance. I'll build the trust on what that's going to look like, all while making sure that you're doing the recruiting things you need to in the portal, finding out who's available, who can we get in on a visit, putting the staff together, making calls to donors and influential people within the program, and then getting a feel for the campus, getting a feel for the community and the state. We've got great high school coaches here. We've got tremendous high school programs, how important that's going to be to our success on making the inroads there. So it's fun. I love building programs, love the opportunity to put things together. And we got a lot of work to do, and I'm excited about. We won't back down from any challenge. It's a lot of fun on putting these things together. It'll be fun when we get our staff together, and it'll be here before we know it.
Barry Odom is the newest head coach inside the Big Ten, taking over at Purdue. Coach, again, congratulations. Thanks so much for the time. Really look forward to working with you, following you in the Purdue program.
Thanks, guys. Boiler up.